How's it going, developers? Hope everybody is doing awesome. I'm doing great, as I always say. Today I wanted to answer a few questions that I always get on my Instagram account. And that question is, how do you get the experience as a developer? How do you get started as a developer? Right? Because it's like the chicken and the egg problem. In order to have the experience, in order to have the internship, you have to have the experience. So like, which one comes first? And I consistently get these questions from new developers, from developers who are trying to start out, from developers who are very interested in the field. And so I want to answer that, and I want to give you my story and how I got started. As well, I want to give you my thoughts on some additional thoughts on how you can get started as well. So to kind of give you a brief history on how I got started with software development, it all started in high school. I was building very simple web pages in a web development course that I had, and we were just landing pages for school, and we were using Dreamweaver back then. So yeah, Dreamweaver, not something you want to use, especially when you get experience. But then after that, when I got into college, I realized I needed something more. In order to build up my portfolio, I needed to either create a project or I needed to join something, maybe some kind of a club, do something, because no company is going to accept you with zero experience. Maybe some, but then you're not going to be doing very interesting work if you have zero experience in that company. And so one day, I joined a creative computing club. And I saw a classmate of mine. He was in the club and he was showing off an application. And the application, basically, it was like swipe left, swipe right, except you don't swipe left or right on girls. You swipe left and right on clothing. It had a big collage of clothing, and if you dislike the clothing, you just swipe left. If you like the clothing, swipe right. And I was like, so freaking cool. I was like, how can I get involved? Right away, is there any chance I can get involved? Is there any chance I can work with you guys? And so I was like, yeah, let me get back to you, and then we'll see how it goes. So initially I had to create a project. I was given the task to create a very simple scraper. Now, I didn't know how to create a scraper. I had no idea what to even use. And then after some research, I think it took me like a couple of hours, I realized I could use Python, and then I could use something called Beautiful Soup to parse a web page, and then I can scrape text from the web page. So a whole bunch of things. And I think within 2 days, I created a project, a simple script, and I sent it off to the guys. They really liked it, They knew I did not know anything. They knew I didn't have any experience, but they saw the potential. Robert and Steve was the CEO, and then Robert was the classmate of mine. And then I kind of started with them. Initially, it was difficult. I ended up learning backend development. I was creating more scrapers, and just doing a lot of things, learning, developing, creating, making friends, so many good things that I did. Now, when I got into it, I had zero expectations. I had zero expectations in terms of even payment. I did not expect any payment because I wanted one thing. I wanted experience. I wanted to have friends, I wanted experience, and I really liked the product as well. Now forward that 1 year later, I think it was September of 2015, and I've basically become a co-developer with Robert for the backend infrastructure that serves all of our applications. And not only that, I built machine learning applications, I built front-end applications, just so many fun things created, so many fun things done, and so many great friends made, and so much learned, too. And then forward that another year, I think September 2016, I got an internship at another company, I had a lot of fun there, and then forward to now, October 2017, I'm currently working as a full-stack developer at another startup company, and just having a lot of fun there as well. But looking back and asking myself, would I have changed anything? Would I have done anything differently? Thinking no, I would not have done it any differently. The fact that I went in there with zero expectations, that I provided a service for free without any expectations back, I have learned a lot. You see, my acquaintances, a couple of my friends, they wanted to get a job, with no experience as a developer, and they also wanted to get paid. But the problem with that is a lot of the times those companies are gonna give you crappy work, like very crappy work. It's not something that's valuable for you, not something that's gonna teach you, and then the last thing you want is for a job that's gonna put a bad description on you, like a description for what software development is. Now, I'm not saying that's for every job, but I'm just saying it is for a couple. So yeah, I think the fact that I took that action and went to the company with zero expectations is what kind of raised my bar, and I think it increased my self-esteem and self-development, and amongst other things. And not only that, with Robert and Steve, I'm still great friends with them. I freaking love those guys. We consistently hang out, we talk about business and all that, so definitely great I met those guys and I got a chance to work with them. So yeah, that's my story. And obviously, that's just one way you can do it. There's many more ways that you can go about becoming a software developer and all that. Let's get into those right now. So the first thing you can do is create a project. Find a problem and then figure out a solution. Maybe that's a problem that your friend is having. Maybe that's a problem that your parents are having. Anyone. Find any problem that can be solved with technology and then figure out a solution to it. And then build that solution. Go into open source projects and see how you can contribute there and see what you can learn from there as well. Just so many things. The second thing obviously you can do is, that's my favorite option, is do things for free. If you find a startup or you find a couple of people who are trying to start something new, don't be afraid to offer, free development, because in return what they'll do is they'll teach you. Maybe those people know software development, but you're offering them your service for free. So that's the option that I went with, and that's the option I like as well. But that's all up to you. The third thing you can do is apply to good internships. And that's very important when I say good, because you don't want to apply to crappy internships. You don't want to have a bad initial impression on the software development world. So don't be afraid to apply to Google. Don't be afraid to apply to those big companies. You might not get the internship at first, but as you build up your portfolio over time, let's say in freshman year you applied, didn't get it. Sophomore year you applied and you didn't get an internship. But then you built up your portfolio, and then junior year you might actually have an internship. And that's a very important thing. That's something that I probably should have done as well. But I'm happy with the way things turned out. The fourth thing is apply non-stop. Don't be afraid to apply. Like it relates to the other version, but the other version was just to apply to good ones. This one, just apply non-stop. Apply. Don't be afraid to, like I said, don't be afraid to apply to big companies. Just send your resume out, see what you get back, and I think if you're persistent, you will be able to get a good internship and get a good experience and get a valuable experience. Number 5 is just join some kind of a club. Maybe there's a club at university. Maybe there's a club somewhere that, where software developers are. When you get into the club, and you'll learn a lot more from the people. You'll make friends, and then maybe you create more projects and all that. So just being around a group of people, software developers, is just another great way of getting that experience. 6 is hackathons. Now, personally, I am not a fan of hackathons. I've had a couple of very bad experiences. I drank too much Red Bull, but it's a great way to make connections. It's a great way to make projects. When you get in there, it's basically you're blindly going in there to meet new people and to create a project with new people you haven't seen before. And I think that's a great way to start out as well. So yeah, that's the end of the video. That's my opinions on how to get started in software development, and then my history and how I started. Obviously, it's just my opinion. Other people have opinions as well. There's probably more ways to get started in software development. But I feel like as long as you try and as long as you're consistent, you'll be fine. Comment down below how you got started and what are your opinions on how to get started in software development. I would love to hear it, and maybe other people who are watching the video would love to hear it as well. But other than that, keep coding, keep creating, and stay happy, developers. Please like and subscribe. If you don't want to, if you don't like to, that's fine too, but I would appreciate it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at @thehappydeveloper. I'm doing a lot of awesome things there. So any day-to-day life that I do, that's there. So I think I'll put a link somewhere here or here. I'm not sure. But as I said, keep coding, keep creating, and stay happy, developers.